The Evening Star by Mihai Eminescu. There was, as in the fairy tales, as ne'er in the times raid, there was, of famous royal blood, a most beautiful maid. She was her parents' only child, bright like the sun at noon, and like the Virgin midst the saints, and among stars the moon. From the deep shadow of the vaults, her step now she directs toward a window. At its nook, bright Lucifer expects. She looks as in the distant seas. He rises, darts his rays, leads the blackish loaded ships on the wet moving ways. To look at him every night, her soul, her instincts spur. And as he looks at her for weeks, he falls in love with her. And as on her elbows she leans, her temple and her whim, she feels in her heart and soul that she falls in love with him. And every night his stormy flames more stormily renew. When in the shadow of the castle she shows to his bright view, to her room with her slow steps, he bears his steps and aims, weaving out of his sparkles cold a toil of shaking flames. And when she throws upon her bed her tired limbs and reposes, he glides his hand along her breast, and her sweet eyelash closes. And from her mirror on her shape a beam has spread and burns, on her big eyes that beat though closed, and on her face that turns. Her smiles view him. The mirror shows him trembling in the nook, for he is plunging in her dream, so that their souls may hook. She speaks with him in sleep and sighs, while her heart's swelled veins drum. O sweet Lord of my fairy nights, why comest thou not come? Descend to me, mild Lucifer. Thou canst glide on a beam, enter my dwelling in my mind, and over my life gleam. He hears, and from the dire despair of such a woeful weird eye dies, and the heavens revolve where he has disappeared. Soon in the air flames ruddy spread, the world in their grip hold, superb from the spasm of the chaotic valley's mold. On his locks of black hair he bears his crown of fierce fire frames. He floats as he really comes, swimming in the sun's flames. His black shroud lets develop out, his arms marbly inhale. He pensively and sadly brings his face awfully pale, but his big wonderful eyes gleam chimerically deep, shows two unsatiated spasms, but into dark peep. From my sphere hardly I come to follow thy voice, thy sight. The bright sun is my father, and my mother is the night. O come, and upon thy blonde hair crowns of stars I shall crowd, and more than all of them, up there, thou wilt look fair and proud. O thou art beautiful as but in dreams a demon shows. The way though thou hast oped for me, from as forever close, the depths of my breast ache from thee, desire of thy fierce love. My heavy big eyes also ache, when into them thine shove. But how wouldst thou that I come down? Know this, for do I lie? I am immortal, while thou art one of those that must die. I hate big words, nor do I know how to begin my plea. And although thy discourse is clear, I don't understand thee. But if thou wantest my flamed love, and that would not be sham, come down on this temporal earth, be mortal as I am. I'd lose my immortality for but one kiss of thine. Well, I will show thee how much too. For thy fierce love I pine. Yes, I shall be reborn from sin, receive another creed. From that endlessness to which I am tied, I shall be freed. And out he went out, loving a human fay. He plucked himself off from the sky, went for many a day. Meanwhile the houseboy, Cătălin, sly, and who often jests, when he's filling with wine the cups of the banqueting guests, a page that carries step by step the trail of the queen's gown, a wandering bastard but bold, it's like no one in the town. His little cheeks a peony that under the sun stews, watchful, just like a thief, he sneaks. In Cătălina's views, how beautiful she grew, thinks he, a flower just to pluck. Now Cătălin, but now it is thy chance to try thy luck. And by the way hurriedly he corners that human fay. What's with thee, Cătălin? Let me alone and go thy way. No, I want thee to stay away from thoughts that have no fun. I want to see thee only laugh. Give me a kiss. Just one. I don't know, I could show, and believe me, retire. But for one, Lucifer from up, I've kept my strong desire. If thou dost not know, I could show thee all about love's balm. Only don't give way to thy ire, and listen and be calm. So as the hunter throws the net that many birds would harm, when I stretch my left arm to thee, and lace me with thy arm, under my eyes keep thine, and don't let them move on their wheels. If I lift thee by the waist, thou must lift on thy heels. When I bend down my face to hold, thine up must be thy strife. To each other we could throw sweet, eager looks for life, so that thou have about love a knowledge true and plain. When I stop to kiss thee, thou must kiss me too, and again. With much bewilderment her mind the little boy's world fills. Shyly and nicely now she wills not, and now she wills. Slowly she tells him, since thy childhood I've known thy wit, and as thou art both glib and small, my temper thou wouldst fit. But Lucifer sprung from the calm of the oblivion, though gives horizons limitless, to the sea lone and dun, and secretly I close my eyes, for my eyelash tears dim, and the waves of the sea go on, traveling toward him. He shines with love unspeakable, so that my pains he'd leech, but higher and higher soars, so that his hand I'd ne'er reach. Sadly thrusts from the world's witch from my soul his cold ray bar. I shall love him forever, and forever he'll rove far. Like the unmeasured steps my days are deaf and wild, therefore. But my nights spread a holy charm. I understand no more. Thou art a child. Let's go through new lands, our own fate let's frame. Soon they shall have trace and forgot even our name. We shall be both wise, glad, and whole, as my judgment infers. But thou wouldst not long for thy kin, nor yearn for Lucifer's. Then Lucifer went out. His wings grow into heaven's dash, and on his way, millenniums flee in less than a flash, below a depth of stars, above. The heaven stars begem, he seems an endless lightning that's wandering through them, and from the chaos veils he sees how in an immense ring, round him, as in the world's first day, lights from their sources spring. How, springing, they hem him like an ocean that swimming nears. He flees carried by his desire, until he disappears. For that region is boundless, and searching regards avoids, at times strives vainly there to come. To life from the dark voids, as 'tis not, 'tis the thirst that sips him, in which he cannot shun. 'Tis depth unknown, comparable to blind oblivion. From that dark, choking endlessness, into which I am furled. Father, undo me, and forever be praised in the whole world. Anything for this new fate, for with mine I am through. Hear my prayer, O my Lord, for thou givest life and death too. Take back my endlessness, the fires that my being devour, and in return give me a chance to love but for an hour. I've come from chaos, I'd return to that my former nest, and as I have been brought to life, from rest I crave for rest. Hyperion, that calmest from the depths with the world swarm, do not ask signs and miracles that have no name nor form. Thou wantest to count among men, to take their resemblance vain. But would now the whole mankind die? Men will be born again, but they are building on the wind. Ideals void and blind, when human waves run into graves. New waves spring from behind. Fate's persecution, lucky stars, they only are to own. Here we know neither time nor space. Death we have never known. It's from the eternal yesterday. Drinks what today will drain. And if a sun dies in the sky, a sun quickens again. Risen as forever, death, though, follows them like a thorn. For all are born only to die, and die to be reborn. But thou remainest wheresoe'er thou wouldst set down or flee. Thou art of the prime form and an eternal prodigy. For whom thou wantest them to die, just go and see what's worth all that is waiting there for thee. On that wandering earth, his first dominion in the sky Hyperion restores, and as in his first day, his light all o'er again he pours. For it is evening, and the night her duty never waves. Now the moon rises quietly, and shaking from the waves, and upon the paths of the groves, her sparkles again drone. Under the row of linden trees, two youths sit all alone. O darling, let my blessed ear feel how thy heart's pulses beat, under the ray of thy eyes clear and unspeakably sweet. With the charms of their cold light pierce my thoughts' fairy glades, pour an eternal quietness on my passion's dark shades, and there, above, remain to stop thy woe's violet stream, for thou art my first source of love, and also my last dream. Hyperion beholds how love their eyes equally charms. Scarcely his arm touches her neck. She takes him in her arms. The silvery blooms spread their smells, and their soft cascade knocks the tops of the heads of both youths, with long and golden locks, and all bewitched by love, she lifts her eyes toward the fires of the witnessing Lucifer, and trusts him her desires. Descend to me, mild Lucifer. Thou canst glide on a beam, enter my forest and my mind, and o'er my good luck gleam. As he did at once, into woods. On hills his rays he urges, guiding throughout so many wilds the gleaming moving surges. But he falls not as he did once, from his height into swells. What matters thee, clod of dust, if 'tis me or someone else? You live in your sphere's narrowness, and luck rules over you. Eternal world I feel, eternal, cold, and true. You live in your sphere's narrowness, and luck rules over you. But in my steady world I feel eternal, cold, and true, and if thou wouldst forever stay, content with what you are, I'll watch you calmly from my sphere. Cold, eternal star, the lonely evening star arose above the forest's crown, and on the clear edge of the waves his rays came shining down. He sees the lovers at the linden, beneath the silvery sky. He sees the little human pair, and lets the ages fly. He looks on her with quiet eyes, unmoved by earthly fate, as Cătălina leans her head on Cătălina's strong pate. Her hair is mixed with his soft locks. Their eyes shine in the shade, while over them the lime trees spread, their perfume cool and staid. She tells him secrets of her soul, and lets her eyelids fall, and laughs and sighs between his arms, not thinking of the star. For them there is no Hyperion, no infinite desire, no cold immortal consciousness, no kingdom lit by fire. They love like mortals always do, content with all they know, while far above them in the dark the endless ages flow. And from his place among the worlds, Hyperion calmly sees how nothing stirs him in the night. No pleading and no pleas. He sees that on this dusty earth all things must fade and die, that human loves are fleeting waves. Beneath his frozen sky, he knows that what she dreamed of him was but a passing flame, that now she rests in other arms, calls another's name. He sees the youth's bold smiling lips. He touched lightly her white face, while he remains alone above, immortal in his place. The forest shivers under stars, the linden blossoms shed, and on the shore the evening star beholds the world's new bed. Forever cold, forever pure, he watches from afar, while down below the lovers sleep beneath his silent star. And so remains Hyperion, a witness in the sky, unchanged by all that passes there, unhearing every cry. He floats above the world of men, beyond their hopes and fears. His light is there for them to see, across the rolling years, forever young, forever old, forever cold and bright. The evening star in endless space beholds their love tonight.